Well, I've just seen a huge amount of amazing comments come through in the news feed. Sorry, I haven't had a chance to chat with you guys so far, but you can see we've had so many beautiful people in the studio. Firstly, Matty Blythe, you've asked, where do we get the cake moulds from? You can buy those from guidetobettershopping.com. I'll post the link into the chat feed after the show today. And also a message came in from Tracy Marie Huia, who said, Bernadette Suarez, thank you so much for donating product to support the Burns Support charity function recently. She is very grateful for your support, and that's Bernadette out there supporting amazing charities and women in business. So now it's time to turn our attention to this gorgeous creature who's in the studio. If you watched our show last week, you'll know we had beautiful ladies from Mrs. New Zealand. We had Karen, we had Tammy, and we had Shalala talking about what it's like to be part of the Mrs. New Zealand pageant. And now we have pageant director. This is Anita Prasad. Hi, Anita.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fabulous. How are you?
I'm good. I just came from Melbourne just last night and today here in the studio supporting the Mrs. New Zealand and the team itself. So totally excited about the event and how the contestants are working and like they are putting their 100% into the event.
Isn't it amazing?
Yes,
it is amazing.
Oh my God. Like since the time I met them, like I have been communicating with them, and as of today, they were on a 2 months of boot camp.
Yep. So 2 months of boot camp.
Yes, yes. So
that's a lot of boot camp.
It is a boot camp about them teaching on how to do their catwalk, their poses, their posture, building in confidence and public speaking, presentation.
Beautiful.
And it is like, when it comes to a beauty pageant, when the ladies, they're walking with their heels, pretty much all of the heels are not suitable for the pageant.
That's right. You've got to find the right shoes that help them walk and stand upright properly, because that affects their posture as well, right?
Exactly. And even the type of the outfit they wear, it is like pretty much you have to be confident in what you're wearing, what suits you, and what actually looks good on your figure. So that is something very important to know about. And apart from that, they have been doing a lot of charity, and we are in supporting.
They've been doing a heap of charity work. I've been following it all in social media. But first of all, before we even delve into the pageant, Anita, how did you get involved with Mrs. New Zealand?
I myself, coming from by profession, I'm an accountant. And,
oh wow!
And passion has always been into a beauty pageants and fashion shows and music. So pretty much what I did was that in year 2012, I entered into a beauty pageant and I represented NZ in a beauty pageant called Miss United Nations Tourism, which was held in Kingston, Jamaica.
Oh, wow. So, that's incredible.
Yeah, actually, it was such a beautiful journey. I learned a lot from that. I competed with 22 nations and I came home with 2 titles. First one was People's Choice Ambassador, and second one was the Best Personality Award.
Oh, wow.
So that pretty much inspired me. Like, I learned a lot from that beauty pageant, like in terms of how you should be talking to people, how you should be presenting yourself, what you wear. Like, as per previously, we're talking to Brooke and Benedict in terms of the beauty foundation and stuff.
Yes.
So pretty much that is something very important and very handy. That's what we have been told about. So a beauty queen always glam themselves, but not only your looks, it is your performance. It is how or who you are, how you present yourself, how you carry yourself as a gorgeous woman in terms of how you speak, how you approach to people. And on top of that, you must have a beautiful soul. So I'm looking...
And that's what I think I love about this, is that the women that came in, each of them had such a different story and such a beautiful heart. And in fact, Rangi Barnett, I have to do a shout out for you as well. She was actually the one who organised for the women to come into the studio and has been so supportive of all the other competitors. Are you finding that, and this is something the other competitors said, is they all support each other so much. It's different from any other pageant.
Yeah, that is the main thing within Mrs. New Zealand, and that is something that I have developed as our culture, as our Mrs. New Zealand culture. It is like we all help each other, support each other, because at the end of the day, we all are women. We are treating our contestants as our own family members. So it is like every year, all the contestants, what I do, I just do a reunion whereby they talk to each other, make friends with each other, and they support each other. So it is like currently all these contestants and the previous year's contestants, they're still helping each other, deciding on what they're going to wear, what looks good on them, what don't look good on them. So it's totally different. So our main motive is to be out there, support our ladies. It's not about like a full competition. So whoever wins the event will be representing New Zealand in Mrs. Universe, which is going to be held next year in July, but they haven't decided on the country yet. So it is going to be out in January. So the reason why I run this pageant in November, so that we have got ample time to prepare our contents.
Because it is such a big journey as well. I mean, I've worked alongside many pageant contestants. I worked with Deborah Lambie, who was Miss World New Zealand, who did really well, worked with her on her media. I've worked with Tanya, who was Miss Universe New Zealand last year, big supporter of her as well. Worked with Brooke this year. I know that a lot of work goes into there, but I know, and I really want to ask you about this, there is a lot of negativity in New Zealand about pageantry. I know around the world, it's like in the Philippines, people love it. America, they're crazy over it. How do you deal with the stigma of what goes on, what people perceive pageants to be about? Because they think, and I talked about this with the ladies last week, they think that it's a whole bunch of women standing up there full of themselves and that they all love themselves and they've got no brains.
I'm actually laughing at it.
Yeah, I know, right?
No, seriously, I'm laughing at it. The reason being, our culture at Mrs. New Zealand is totally different. And even you will witness yourself, you're going to be there in the event.
That's right.
It is totally different. There is competition, yes, because at the end of the day, every contestant, as soon as they go on the stage, they're presenting themselves.
And there can only be one winner, right?
Yes, exactly. So what will happen is that they all have something unique in them that makes them a special person. And that uniqueness in every individual, I call it as their brand signature. Whatever they do.
Their brand signature. I think that's a really important thing to define. Fantastic.
Yes. It is like we all are human. We all have got different ways, our attitudes, and look into the size, height, everything, right? Yes. So it is like when they go on the stage, what they present, like everybody is taught everything exactly the same. Same catwalk, same level of talking, same level of speech, everything is exactly the same.
Yes.
It's just that a different outfit makes a person looks different compared to another person. So basically when they will be walking, they are judged on their presentation, their confidence, their engagement to the public, how they talk to the public, and like all the beauty pageant manners. For example, in year 2012, when I was for this United Nations pageant, when I was in America, I was taught some beautiful beauty pageant tips. Firstly, when you're sitting in any of a pageant, you have to be like in a professional way, not like this.
Of course, You
have to be like this with the hands on, chest up.
Of course.
So all these are the beautiful tips or things that the judges will be looking at.
Right.
So that makes a person look different from another one.
Of course. So that helps them identify their uniqueness. However, with the press and the media and the attitudes towards pageantry, how do you help somebody override that? Because of course, and I've been in media for 20 odd years, how do you teach them to overcome the negativity and the trolls? My main aim and my goal is always has been to turn every negativity into positive. Okay. People, they talk about critics, right? So, and there's a lot of them, especially when it comes to pageants.
Yes. So my understanding is that even when I joined, I would say I never looked good. I was double the size as what I am right now. Wow. It is like within last 7 years, I have changed a lot in my perception. So from where I see, it is about when people criticize you or say something, oh, she's not good, she's not right, you don't react. The thing is, take it as a positive feedback, because that will help you change to improve. And improve. Okay, gotcha. So that's what Mrs. New Zealand is all about. So I have already told all of my contestants, be positive. Turn every negativity into positive. I love that. That's beautiful. A great tip. It is like any feedback that you get, it is like use that to change yourself, to improve yourself. Nobody is competing with no one, because there's a saying, like that flowers, they bloom beside each other without any competition, right? So pretty much that's what we are talking about. We are helping each other, we are growing, and then we are not like taking negative feedbacks. We are taking it, but in a good way. Perfect. Now, there's some really important things you need to know about Mrs. New Zealand. Those women work their butts off to raise money for charity. So I know recently they've been raising money for the Breast Cancer Foundation New Zealand, which is amazing, a charity I also support. And one of the other things they do on the international stage is they all say no to violence. Violence of any kind, violence against children, domestic violence,
anything to do with violence. That's really the big platform behind Mrs. New Zealand and Mrs. Universe as well.
Yes, exactly.
And how do the women work to get that message out there? What have they been doing?
The main thing that we have been currently focusing on is our NZ Breast Cancer Foundation fundraising, and we're having our grand fundraising event tomorrow at Grasshopper Restaurant at 6:30 p.m.
Great.
So there are people who have already messaged us on Mrs. NZ and have reserved for their seating, and the response that we are getting from people out there who are helping us in order to fundraise for this event is very, very, we are having a good response, and I'm totally loving it. And the thing is that when it comes to violence, we will be definitely going to run a campaign. I will be talking to the contestants this evening, and tomorrow we'll be coming up with a campaign whereby we could go against the violences that are happening, and we'll be out there support and give awareness and counsel. So the thing is that if any of the contestants or any of the women out there, if you're facing any problems, any issues, any personal issues, you can always contact me or Mrs. New Zealand or even any of the contestants. They all are there to help you, listen to you, understand you, and support you. That is what Mrs. New Zealand is all about. Remember, we are not competing with anyone. Our goal is to turn every negativity into positivity. We are there to support you. We are there to help you. We are there to listen to you. So if you are, or if you need us, do approach us.
Oh, I love that, Anita. Thank you so much. Now, if you want to find out more about Mrs. New Zealand, you can by heading to their Facebook page. We've got the screen coming up for you right now. Look, right there. Such a cool profile photo of the current Mrs. New Zealand.
And she will be flying to Las Vegas next year, July, to represent NZ in Mrs. Earth. And she will be competing against, I think, 56 countries, like in total of everyone.
That's incredible.
And I will be traveling with her, and I'm very, very excited myself as well as Candy. And
so cool.
The good thing is that, like, she has been working hard. She has been maintaining her diet. She has been going to the gym, like, every time.
I love it, because it takes a lot of dedication to be a beauty queen.
So it is like, that, as I mentioned before, we do this event in November so that we have got ample time to prepare our queen so that she's prepared and then she can fly off.
Excellent. Now, you notice on that Facebook page too, there was a header on the top of the Facebook page which talks about their big event coming up on Saturday night. It's the Mrs. New Zealand. It's the big final night happening here in Auckland. It's on 25th of November, and there are still tickets available. You can actually contact them directly through the Mrs. New Zealand page. And remember, proceeds from this event go towards Breast Cancer Foundation. And of course, our winner from this event then goes onto the international stage to help say no to violence. So if you want to do something good that will help these women all bloom together and help take those incredible messages to the international stage, you need to be with us. I'm really excited about being there, Anita. And I want to thank you for all the great work you're doing to support these women. Now, if somebody's interested in being part of the pageant in the future, it's age range 25 to 45?
55
to 55.
And
shout out Rachel Thompson. I told you you can enter next year.
And the other thing is that not only Mrs. or engaged or a lady who is in a partnership, we have got a special categories for the women who are engaged or separated, who are divorced, who are widow or single mom. So we are there for all of you. So the categories are married, engaged, in partnership. If you are separated, if you are widow, if you are divorced, or if you are a single mom, yes, we are out there to be part of our event.
That is so cool. I keep getting the goosies just talking about it. Well, if you've followed me, you'll know I'm a big supporter of pageants, because I personally understand that it's not just making someone look pretty on stage, it's helping them find their voice. And that's what Your Fix TV show or company is all about. So Anita, thank you so much.